I'm sitting here at this very creative table.
I'm kind of trailblazing.
Colors and trailblazing.
Yeah.
So on one hand, I'm having all these shoes and everything you created right now. I'm having these play cards. Chocolates are gone because they were screaming too loud. And here on my left side, I have this explosion of creativity also. But it's also kind of like bundles a lot of the things you've already done until now, eh?
Yeah, it's like my autobiography of the last 3 decades.
Okay, so I'm sitting here looking at these little boxes with 3 chocolates screaming at me for 1.5 hours.
Yeah, well, it was supposed to be 5 because it's 5 characters, but I was like hungry on the way, so I couldn't help myself. Yeah.
So what kind of chocolates are these?
These are chocolates that I made from pure cacao with ginger and lemon.
I seriously, listen, I smell these chocolate. I don't even need to put my nose down there. I smell them all the way here.
Yeah. Thank you.
So now we go ching ching. I'm taking the little berry ching ching.
Ching ching.
Now.
I have a wizard. Yeah.
Just the crunchiness of this thing. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Good. Don't faint. Stay here. Hello. Focus.
Oh my god.
It's good.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I kind of I started I wanted to create like sugar-free chocolates.
Wow.
Because I work a lot with kids, like in the workshops, and I just wanted to give them like some snacks, like healthy snacks. So I started like experimenting with flavors and things that I do like because everybody likes chocolate.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh wow! I will give you a moment. I will give you a moment. Keep on breathing, so we can enjoy the flavor. Taste the experience. A few minutes later.
A few hours later, she's still sitting there tripping.
Yeah, well, at first, I wanted to create chocolates, but then I want to have my own shape, because I like to do things on my own way. And I worked together with a company in Belgium who does like real, how do you call it? Like handmade chocolates.
Real Belgian
handmade chocolates, yes. And they were like really good in different flavors and all very different, unique flavors. Because that's how I learned how to make chocolates, like collaborating and communicating with like it's a company called Made by Mom. She is a really dope person, and she helped me a lot in the chocolate process, in creating chocolate, the flavors, and I was doing like tasting events, so people could like tell me their experience. I didn't tell no one like what's in it, like you tell me.
This one's calling my name. What is that? But what's inside of it? Seriously.
A lot of dedication.
It was wonderful.
Yes? Thank you.
100%, 10 out of 10.
Wow. Look at that smile.
You have like the smoothness of the chocolate, and then you bite into it, then you have the richness of the filling, but it's just the right balance.
Okay. Oh my god. Yum.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, you could eat a box of them. Yeah.
Everybody experiences a flavor on their own way, right? You can give them the same thing, but they will experience a totally different flavor, maybe. That for me, that was interesting. And I wanted like fuse chocolate with spices to make it more healthier, and also the flavor would be like totally different. And those herbs and spices that I used, it was also like a very fun journey, because I started to like chocolate even more during the way, because I ate so many chocolate. I gave it to friends and they were like, oh, this is dope. How are you gonna sell this? So you have to think smart. And I went to like local shops, tattoo shops, because I wanted to reach tourists, because they have a different perspective.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that gave me so much information in how I want to package it, because creating something is nice, but how we're going to sell it and how we're going to package it. And I like those elements in research of product development. Because at some point you already create the chocolate, but what is going to be like the personality of the chocolate, of the branding, and I like to like tease myself and with that type of science and the type of information and knowledge, and how I can maybe sell this concept at some point to a bigger company. Because people, enjoy it. It's yours, and people were already like, oh. Maybe you should sell this to this company, maybe to this company, maybe to this company. And I was like, you know what? If you want to make chocolate, it's fun. But I want to create a community.
So good. It's so good.
And I want to create a community. What did I do? I created a game with it for personal development, because every character has his own name and his own personality. And I also created like a merch brand with it. Because if you like something, you will wear something for it because you want to be part of it.
You're like an ever-going like stream of creative.
Yeah, I react on social problems. That's how I create mostly. When I see something online, and I'm like, I can't complain, because I've seen online that kids are getting like really overweight and etc. And everybody likes sweet things, right? But you can still have the same flavor, but on a more organic level. So on that level, I started like creating chocolates, because for my workshops, I want people to enjoy to eat something while they're like creating. So I create my own thing.
Just incredible. I recognize. So here's the table. We have these cute cards that I like. I think I recognize the little one from the chocolate I had.
Yeah.
So what's the idea then? Do I take one of these cards?
You can play. Then you can collect and you can trade.
That's so smart. That's so smart. That's so smart. Okay.
Yeah, you play to earn.
Okay, I'm gonna take one, right?
Take one and look at the back side.
Oh, cool. Hello, Earthlings. Allow me to introduce myself. Going by the name of Spiritual Panda, I'm one of the 5 characters of the Freaks the Arts family. We're the people, united we're one. Spiritual Panda. The Freak the Arts characters represent the usually creatives, the misunderstood, the unseen and the alternative, the generation who are given a superpower to see life differently. The FDA characters represent chakras, energy points, placed in different points in the body, in our body. Chakras come from the ancient Indian philosophy and form the energy field that is responsible for your life force. With the right care, this energy awakens your creativity and unlocks your own superpower. Each character beholds this energetic superpower that gives a different point of view on the often old learned patterns, renewed energy, understanding for the culture, collaborating and connecting with each other is what is needed in this new era in time. And that is what we stand for.
Yes.
And we have all these characters together. So cute.
And how I created these cards is when I had the shop, and I was first I started with the brand, with a fashion line of the streetwear brand. But when people are buying something, you get a receipt, right? But the receipt is so boring. And at some point, I got some inspiration from a brand where they, for like some type of high, don't want to call names, but I went to like an event and they were selling like new, how do you call it? Not prototypes, but sample.
Oh, yeah.
Like a sample sale, but it's like an in-house sample sale. And it was for a pretty high-end brand. And then I bought a denim with them, and when I purchased the denim, there was like a personal letter of the designer who says thank you for buying me, for purchasing me, and I hope you will nurture me the same way you're like in your daily life. And that made an impression on me, like wow. So for me, it was like, if somebody buys something from this brand, I won't give them a card. Because every time when you buy something, you can collect a new card. At some point, when you have the same character, you can like trade within each other.
So smart.
As a community.
It's so cool.
Come to my studio and play it. If you want to have a first-hand experience.
And in what way? I'm sitting here at this very creative table with this amazing creative artist at the other side of the table, who is like it reminds me of kind of like a weave. You're like weaving through all these different layers and places and people and connecting all these dots.
I'm kind of trailblazing.
Colors and trailblazing.
Yeah.
So on one hand, I'm having all these shoes and everything you created right now. I'm having these play cards. Chocolates are gone because they were screaming too loud. I couldn't ignore that anymore. And here on my left side, I have this explosion of creativity also. But it's also kind of like bundles a lot of the things you've already done until now, eh?
Yeah, it's like my autobiography of the last 3 decades.
I mean, even just seriously, like one page is a whole universe, eh? Like there are so many layers in each page of these. No, it's just amazing. What's a trailblazer?
Someone who creates a path or walks a path for the first time and takes in all the BS on the road so it can become like a created path for everyone who likes that interest, so they can also create their own within it, as far as I know what it means.
You kind of like you're opening a door. You're actually searching around in this hallway.
Yeah, trying to figure things out.
Like dumping yourself, for hitting again, not getting in
the
there.
Next one.
Oh shit, and then suddenly you get to open this door and you can actually show the people.
Because everybody is getting like similar ideas, like a zeitgeist. And every generation will repeat a previous generation. And for those generations, the upcoming generations who are having the same interest, maybe on an innovative level as well, are like, hey, I like it, and he or she already did it, so interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see what's happening there. Yeah.
Really cool. Even just the word, the trailblazer, is really cool. I mean, look at this picture. When are you the happiest?
When I make someone smile. Yeah. I don't need someone's happiness to be happy, because I'm already happy by myself. But when I see somebody else smiles, that's when I'm more happy, because then you're like spreading the joy.
Nice. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Is he taking that piece of the puzzle out, or is he putting it in?
He's putting it in. Because he's creating his own planet, his own world in the universe. It's infinite.
Cool.
And that's me as a kid.
And is he wearing a brain on his?
Yeah, brain works.
And the hair, I recognize this hairstyle from another photo, which is down here.
Yeah, the leopard is like my spirit animal. It's like the jaguar. It's like the jaguar is like my spirit animal, because it's one of the only animals who can dominate in the air, on land, or at water. Because he will get his food everywhere that he needs to get his food from. And I like food.
Yeah?
Yeah, but also the print. Once I had a dream where I saw a leopard in my dream, and it was like such a spiritual night that I was like, wow, because I could see my reflection in the leopard's eyes.
Wow.
Yeah, that was like,
that is cool.
It was cool,
wow.
It was, at some point it was also terrifying, because the leopard ain't small, but also it was very welcoming. Yes. And I just like the print, because that's also what my uncle taught me when I was like creating prints of from graffiti to animals to like clothing prints. It's like, don't look at what other people do with prints, look at the animal itself and study the animals. So we go as like a more natural flow.
Cool. I also like all of this this is also complete. What's the character? Which of your characters do we see?
That was similar to the mohawk was like I have kind of studied that hairstyle for so many years. I kind of like imprinted it with my own DNA, I guess, because people already recognized me with the mohawk and the leopard print, and that was like a rock and roll style. Yeah, because Papa used to be a rock and roller. Still am. Yeah.
Cool. I mean, here we go. The explosion of creative patterns.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
These are like all hairstyles that I did, and I mostly freestyle hairstyles. Like it's in the moment, or I get like a mood board for like maybe like photo shoots or the commercials. Like we want this style, and most of the companies look at my Instagram profile and they look at the photos and they're like, yeah, we need this. And I don't like to like recreate old hairstyles. I also want to do something new. I don't want to repeat myself. Mad annoying.
So what do you say when they actually approach you and they want?
I'm like, okay, do you like the colors or do you like the style of design?
You could work a lot with AI on this though.
That was like anything with the NFT. I did like a lot of animated designs, but to be honest, I work now with digital art because I have to, because time is evolving, but I don't like working digital.
Yeah, no, I get. No, but it's not so much. It's more the morphing, so that you're actually kind of you're actually showing all the possibilities that are between.
Yes, I could go on like infinite, because I used to create like at least 4 or 5 hairstyles a day, like this, for like.
Is that your biggest passion though, hairstyles? What's your or not your biggest passion, but what's your, because you're creative in all kind of different ways.
I have interest in all kind of different ways, and that's why I get creative.
Is there still a style or direction that you feel coming, but is not?
Well, I hope the baggy style is gonna keep itself alive in the next 20 to 50 years, because everything is going more skin, like more suited up, like in the. Because I see it like this. When you were like in the 80s, we looked at the Jetsons. Now we're living in the Jetsons. So the next one is gonna be Star Trek. Right?
Yeah.
That's your answer. When you look into the future, everything's like more fitted, leather, no space. Everything is like more into like the whole, almost more like the mechanical look of becoming styled.
Yeah, it's like efficient or something.
Yes,
but it should actually be more like expanding, right?
Yeah, more like flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna tell too much, but I already have a vision or view in how it's gonna be, and I guess, well, that's why I started like renewing my vision with like upcycling of fashion. It's also in my book, because there's so much waste that I wanna be a part of the solution in doing something with the waste.
Yeah. I mean, even this, we could do a whole chapter on, right?
Yeah.
Use your gift to find your purpose. You're giving also workshops, right?
Yeah, workshops, yes. From
Is
kids
that in
from
this?
9 and teenagers as well, yeah. Because that's what, so like the beginning of the conversation, I also started as a hobbyist with ideas. And because school couldn't guide me with all my interests, all the defaults that I experienced that kind of frustrated me to create a solution, for me it was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to start my own academy to give those type of kids with the same interests and the same situations a platform so they can get the guidance in becoming the artist that they can be. But first you need to explore first to see what's your style, what are your interests, so it can become a discipline. And when you see the discipline, you can create your discipline into like a habit, because it needs to become a habit. So you can become a specialist, the 10,000 hours. You need to walk through them so you can love it, so you can do it, because you can almost be like obsessed about it. And from that level on, you can go on to like create products so you can sell it and create your own market. You can follow the markets that are already existing. If it's you, do it. For
if
me,
it's not you, step out and take your own steps, right?
Take your own step.
Yeah.
That's it. Because there are like so many.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you know, what I hear a lot online is like, why invent the wheel if you can just, you know, or why, you know what I mean? Like,
no, but like, there's the thing is, you don't need to reinvent the wheel, because it's within those 10,000 hours that you're gonna walk, or like you're gonna keep on creating, you will figure out if you're like, if you're cut from that type of wood, of that type of skin to become an artist, because not everybody's made for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Right?
Yeah,
and
definitely.
that's also part of the depression within it. Are you gonna like find the answer? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, okay, I'm about this life, or are you like, no, I just like to watch at it, maybe sometimes join it, but not really, because you need to be the student. Of art to become an artist, and you're gonna need to stay the student, because you're never gonna be. They say at some point you will become the teacher. I get that.
But you need to step out before you get to that point,
you need to
right?
stay the student, because you're never unlearned. You keep on learning.
Yeah.
And that's why you have so many interests. Because when you, for example, when I make like this hat, I can get ideas for this hat and how I can improve this shoe. That's why I never work at one thing at a time. I work like multiple things. Because when you look at my working process, you will get insane. Because people told me like, dude, are you like bipolar or whatever? Because you can shift so fast in ideas that, are you sure that this won't affect you mentally? It did. And at some point you're like, what am I doing? And from that point on, you're like, okay, I have to step back. Write everything down. At that point, I made a wall in my house like a fishing board. And I made a fishing board for, I guess, the next 5 to 10 years. Spread it out, create my own universe, and then fragmentize it in like different timelines. So, and that's how I kind of created my multiple business plans, because every concept became a business at some point. And I created my own theme park. Because when I went to study, in those classes, I was like, they asked me like, who are like your peers, who inspire you? You already know my ceiling is high. I was like, well, Disney? They were like, yo. And at some point, I was told like, yeah, I have a fishing board, can I bring it? I brought it, and at some point it hit me in class, and I was like, oh fuck, this is it. And she's like, okay, you figured it out, because I already see what you're doing. Because I was doing something that nobody else was doing, hairstyling, on like the whole Dennis Rodman level, but then in my own style. And everybody was like, hey, yo, this is dope. The artists that came over here, like touring in Europe, because I was like working with a promoter at some point. Like, hey, we have this artist, we have this artist, we have this artist. So like the artists who were like my idols, who I saw on MTV Yo Raps, at some point became the people that I was like chilling with. So
how did that go? How did you get there?
Because at the point that I was like styling or like hanging around with artists in those studios, other artists came and saw, oh, this is dope, who are you, at some point, and then it starts rolling. And because my style was edgy, other artists were like, oh, this is fire, I need that. Who that? You? Roll with us. So I spoke in their language as well. So my reality became so crazy, I guess. How do you call it?
Delusional.
Yeah, my reality became so delusional that it became my reality. And because if I could, when the things that I experienced with artists on the high level, I couldn't talk about because everyone was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And at that time there was
Can you give an example? What do you mean?
For example, I was chilling with people like I was like chilling and for example like Wu-Tang. For like 7 years, we had like really personal conversations with the Rezah. We had so many fun. I have so many fun memories with them because they treated me like one of them, like almost like family. They were like, "No, fam, come on, get over here." And for example, I had a moment that I was with a friend, and I needed to call the Rezah, and he didn't. He was like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "Rezah." He's like, "Fuck out of here!" It's like, "Nah." I'm like, "I want to see your ID." So I pulled up my ID. He was like, "Oh shit, your real name is like this." Like, yeah, this is dope. And I was like shaving his beard. And at some point I got the idea. I'm like, "Okay, wait, what if I put like the Wu-Tang sign in his beard?" And I was like, "Yo, I have an ID. Except can I create like the Wu sign in your beard?" It's like, "You sure you can handle this?" Not even like, "Oh, what do you mean? You sure?" I'm like, "I got this." Like, "Okay, fuck it, let's go." And I created the Wu sign here in his beard.
That is so amazing.
And he was like, "Oh, you want to see it?" I was like, he's like, "Oh shit, you gave me the killer bee." So for me to, and at that time we didn't make photos because there was no social media that they have like we had like three pixel camera at that time, so it would like that. So the memory was like, for me to create something like this on such a big producer / artist creative mind that you like really don't really meet. That was crazy. To put like, and he was like, "Oh, this is fine, this shit is dope." And to actually see him at the concert performing with your art on stage.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I was talking about before. Like to actually see.
Yeah, but that's
your...
and to see it live, because the thing is the other guys, like the whole like Matt, Ghost, Raekwon, they didn't see it yet. On stage they saw it. So for them it was like, "Yo, this shit is dope." And and because you're always in a hurry before the concert, it's like limited time. So some of the artists you cut in front, and some of the artists you cut behind the show, after the show. And they're like, "Yo, shit, yo, you know I'm next, right? You know, because I need the sharp blade." And that's why Method Man called me like Razor Blade, because it's like, "Yo, your blade is like sharp like Charlene." And to get that type of recognition on that age is like, it's unreal. And to like discuss those type of moments with, I don't want to say like the regular folks, but to like the people that I just like had on a daily basis, like in my natural habitat.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh damn, that's dope." And at some point they're like, "Yeah, whatever." But for me, those moments are special. Also the conversations were special because they gave me so much guidance in their inspiration and how they keep themselves sane from all the showbiz, and what's their inspiration in like music, because most of those artists, what I noticed, don't listen to their own music because it's all corporate.
Oh yeah.
And they have so many artists like The Game as well. He was one of the guys who I already cut him a couple of times, and he was like always good, like, "Okay, this is dope." And he was one of the artists that also told me like, he DM'd me like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in Amsterdam. You got time for like a cut?" And I heard you crazy with those hairstyles. I'm like, "Yeah, cool." But at the time I was in Paris. I'm like, "Yeah, I can be in Amsterdam in maybe like the next day." He's like, "Sure," because then he like, "Okay, that time you're arriving in the hotel, blah blah." We had a conversation about art, inspiration, and he's like, "I don't listen to my own music. I just like old like other artists." And we discussed his hairstyle. He's like, "You know what, do you? You're the artist. Just be like Basquiat or Picasso or whatever," because I already saw it. And at that time, he asked me like, "Yo, what's your price?" And I told him a price. He's like, "Nah, come on, this is fucking art. This ain't no hairstyle. This is art. You know, you already know. Like, tonight you're with me, right? Like, we like representing." And I'm like, "Cool," but I'm not about that. I'm like, "Okay, you're nice." And at that point, he washed his hair and he's like, "Yo, this shit is fucking fire. How much? And they told me like, "You know what?" I'm like, "If you don't like my price, I don't do it for the money. I do it for the art, because you need to like evolve also in the financial level." I told him like, "You know what? Pay me what you think it's worth." and he gave me a totally different amount than what I asked for.
That's so cool.
And he was like, I really do appreciate your personality, because it shows character.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm giving you this bonus to make sure that you now understand what your value is as an artist. And that's dope when a fellow artist tells you that.
Definitely.
Because he didn't have to do it. Because I've met different type of artists who they're asking for a discount. I'm like, you're getting paid for a show, now you're asking me for a discount?
Yeah.
So those are the moments that I value the most in communicating with a fellow artist from a different level. And also how they always kept recognizing me when they saw me, like, oh, you the guy, right? Yeah, I recognize your face. Why are you standing here? Come with us backstage. I'm like, no, I'm cool. No, give him a wristband. He's like, all access, let's go. And then I think my friends say, can he get them? Sure, whatever. He family, he cool with you, he cool with us, let's go. And they're like, no, I'm cool. So that's how I got family related with like a lot of artists, like national, international. Of course, also when I went to New York, when we went to shows, and people like, yo, and they're like, you wanna go backstage? I'm like, if it's possible, because I do want to like, yo, I'm in New York, what's up? And then they said, yo, Amsterdam in the building, what's up? They say, he recognized you. So those are like fire, because I had those moments with like The Alchemist, Al, is also very dope because he's a producer like Mobb Deep. Also had a really good conversations with like KRS-One. That guy is like, him and his kids, those are like, their level of intellect is on a different level. So those type of experiences taught me a lot. And what it is to be an artist, what it is to be a person, and what it is to deal with the pressure of being an artist. Yeah. And how I can like divide my interests in trying to like capitalize in those concepts and becoming a creative director or what all those labels that they have, because I don't like, because
Yes, yeah.
Nah, it's just like, I'm a creative mind. Give me not a problem, but give me something, and I will try to create an idea in the moment, so I can present you a concept with probably something that I've already done, and I go to my database. Clink! What it do? Oh, this is dope. Can you make it ours? And that's how I create now. Because when I'm gonna think fast forward. And that's mostly not meant for this time right now. Because I've done the things that I'm doing now or things that I've done 20 years ago. And that's the trailblazer part. Because somebody told me like, yo, you're a trailblazer. Like, what do you mean? Because I didn't know the whole word. Like, what do you mean? You're walking a path that nobody's walked before. And you're so confident in what you're doing because I already know what I'm doing. Because you're educating myself. Because when you educate yourself, you're like letting off in the fear. And the more you know, the better you will execute it. That's the information and experience comes from. So we can never work in doubt. Because when you're creating, work in confidence. Not in control. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So,
thank you for the whole revelation, I would call it. For the creative revelation.
They call it the creative revelation? Like, what do you mean?
Seeing and witnessing an example of total flow.
Yeah.
Daring to, not even daring, just going beyond, like taking the steps in front. With all confidence, with all like, not even confidence, but without fear, like with, what do you call that? With trust, basically.
Yeah.
And really, so in everything that you experience, is everything that you've done also with people, that you completely keep your humbleness, which is, for me, that I see, it goes, that's why I think it goes like this. So I don't see you fall at any point because your humbleness, you say, stays you grounded. But it's also, as long as you're humble, you're not a threat to anybody.
Yeah.
And it really the humbleness really comes from the heart. It's not a mask. So that's why I think also all the doors open. Everybody will let you in because you're not going to be competing. Your intentions are so pure that you're not going to pull people down. No. So people don't even feel
a threat.
It's like, come.
And, I want to lift you up.
But the thing is that you are kind of like, that's your intention. You're actually lifting people up, but they see a playful friend. But in the meantime, you're lifting them up. So they do see, but they don't even know how much. Because you come in as a friend.
Oh, you don't need to know how much. You just need to like execute yourself, like activate. My drive within that is when you exceed in your progress, and you can look at yourself in the mirror like I did that will give confidence. That will work like a drop of oil in your surrounding of achieving things. So even the people who are like facing like multiple threats in the surrounding, like maybe I can do this, maybe I can do this, and you are like doing it, living in the same type of situation. If I can touch one of these kids, their mind, to change the perspective from a negative into a positive, and so they can reach out to their surroundings, that they're going to be like the ambassador and the influence. No, they're doing something. Nice, I can see the progress within the weeks, the months, whatever, and they're like actually making something of themselves, becoming who they want to be. That's like the best gift ever. And the book, the reason why I created this book is because a lot of schools already approached me like, yo, you need to be in front of a class to talk with the new generation about inspiration, motivation, and possibilities they can have with skill development and personal development. And but then I was like, okay, I can be in front of a class because I hope to be the cool teacher, but I do want to give class with my own book, with my own educational system.
And you will, right?
Oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I don't even blink about it twice, because that's why my network is also with debating and about new ways of education. The kids these days, the language now is different, and their interest is different. Because for me, I started an academy in Southeast, where I also grew up, and that was like my fashion show as well in my kids years, like in the Belmont. I already started an academy 4 years ago, right before Corona, in the middle of Corona, and where I gave like introduction workshops for almost for free for kids in the surroundings, so they could like get into their interest with their parent or whatever, and create something like a jacket. Start with your name, and let's see how we can create a concept in creating your own personal jacket, personality on your own style, like customizing a jacket. And the excitement that you see kids having, that are like mostly like troublemakers in class and now are being quiet and focused.
Oh, amazing.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's beautiful.
The thing is, give the kids the tools to execute their ideas.
Yeah.
And when they are like, because even in the class when I worked with like different type of foundations with kids, because that was like my playground in the beginning of like experimenting and how to deal with personalities and those different type of ages. The kids were like very annoying in class. Then I stepped to them like, okay, what's the problem? And they were like, oh, he's the big bad wolf. And then I was like, yeah, I don't like it. So what do you don't like? Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's okay, start with your name on the jacket. Yes, I don't like my name. So then you have like a problem in your life. Because if you don't like your name, then the problem came, yeah, but I don't know how to write. It's okay, then I can help you write. Yes, if you think it's difficult, maybe you can assist someone with their thing so you can become a team. And the little boy at that time, he looked at me like, oh wait, so it is possible to do something else without knowing how to like write. Yes. So he went down and he went to like the blow dryer and just like helped the girl who's like painting to blow this. So I gave him like a task within a team. And he was like quite the whole worshiping, like focused in doing something with a smile. And also at the end, he came to me when everybody was finished. He came walking to me, and there was like the most problematic kid in class. Came to me, he gave me a hand, like thank you. I'm like, why do you thank me? Because now I feel recognized. And that is everything. Because now he will go home, talk about his experience, and make his parents, who probably don't give him the attention because they're like busy surviving with work times, are now like, wait, what is going on over there? Because now somebody's like educating my kid with a positive state of mind now and how we can approach things on a different level.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. This is the part of their discipline and how you're like obsessed and doing what you want to do, so you become the artist that you want to be. Maybe you should read it out loud.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Dear Discipline, you are the strongest form of self-love. You're ignoring something I want right now for something better later on. You reveal the commitment I need to realize my dreams, especially on days I don't want to. My future me is depending on the current me for the promises I made to myself yesterday. Your obsession made me selfish to accomplish what is needed to achieve my goals. Your favorite artist.
Yes. I can scroll to the next.
I can get lost in it. I mean, this is just so cool. I love this picture.
That's a photo of me and my mom. I think I was here maybe like 5 or 6, I guess. And yeah, my fashion style I got from my mom.
She looks super fashionable as well.
Yeah,
I mean, what a mom.
Yes. She's a fashion statement.
How did you see your mom?
Like, what do you mean?
How did you see your mom?
That's a good question. How do I see my mom? Ask my mom. How do I answer it?
Do you recognize things from her and you?
Well, my sister recognizes the things between me and my mom have the same character. That's why we also collage a lot. And when you have the same personality, sometimes it's like 2 walls, like
friction.
A lot of friction. And yes, the relationship is getting better through the years. Yes, yeah, it's like, what do you mean? Well, one, being a creative kid in a black family from Suriname, and Suriname is conservative, and being like full of expression, it's a whole lot being black in a black family at that point and being very expressive. Because my fashion styles were like punk, rock, hip hop, all those influences, and they were like, yo, you're already black, you need to chill. And I was like, nah, I'm living
That's
my
the
life.
last thing I'm gonna do is chill.
Yeah. And even for my mom, because the thing is, the whole art scene, if growing up in a black family, art was not part of growing up because we were in survival, right? You're in a new country, in a probably white country in the Netherlands, and it was like also like very like discriminating in the left in the 90s and the 80s. So you need to like survive, And my mom was like always busy trying to find work or trying to educate herself to find better work. So
and there her kid is sitting just drawing and doing creative stuff.
Yeah, and also very shy, moving a lot, trying to survive. And that's the thing. Art became like my escape from that reality. So now I had something to do with for myself without dealing with that situation. And because that situation is kind of disruptive for a kid growing up. And now I do recognize the traumas that I'm dealing with now from that time, because the most traumas you get from growing up as a kid or as a teenager. And I'm trying to fix those problems now so I can learn from myself and how to confront those moments.
So how do they show up now? In what kind of?
In doubts, in now dealing with fears you never had, and trying to find yourself, like peeling yourself back to that little kid, to that time, and try to confront those moments, I guess, to know how to let loose of those frustrations, the way those thoughts you had about some type of people, personals in your life, that you're like, why did you do it? And now that you're bigger, you understand why it had to be done like that. You're getting like more understanding, I guess, to the situations, so you can like find peace within it. So you can maybe also know how to create a better future for what's coming after you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you also learn to forgive. Yeah. And being a Sagittarius, forgiving, that's the last point of the line. It's a fire sign.
How come?
What? So I'm a fire sign.
How come it's so hard to forgive? What happens when you forgive?
You're releasing yourself.
You mean the sort of like, if you could hold anger towards somebody?
Yes.
In the forgiving, you need like
you're like
cry
releasing,
or
you're
whatever.
A load, like crying, because I grew up that crying was not a way of.
Not a way.
Crying didn't exist. It's like, no, you're gonna need to man up, because I came from a very militant family. We were all like part of soldiers, like very military, and crying was weak. And now I'm learning that crying is also a way of releasing. And I did cry a lot. And the things of the feelings of being, of feeling alone, of feeling lost, of feeling different, and all of that while being in a conservative family, it kind of molds you. And who you think you are, or who you think you became, and who you want to be, intentionally.
Yeah.
And being honest in that moment, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'm good where I am now.
But you are?
I'm good now. Because those things I let go, confronted, and learned me a lot. Gave me strength, not weakness.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, huh? That we think that we'll collapse, that we'll die, that we'll not be able to handle it. And then going through it, you actually realize.
Yeah. That gives you that deception
Yeah.
That's also the whole thing that I've learned within that schooling of being vulnerable is the thing that taught me the most, and to be my authentic self.
And was that with people or with yourself? Or both?
Mostly with myself, because I didn't care about people, their opinions. Because when you do something good now, do something bad tomorrow, nobody cares. I need to care, and how I look at myself in the mirror.
Is that what I see here?
Well, that was just like a moment in a reflection, but yeah, that's attitude.
That's attitude?
No, it's attitude, presentation, and also like showing character.
I don't even see a character there. Well, I see a character, but not like a showing off.
No, it's not showing, it's not bragging. It's just like giving you character. It's a part of a character. It's a reflection of a reflection in a fragment.
Yeah.
All that pain, I turned that pain into purpose in art, in how I express myself, in letting myself be vulnerable.
At what point was there no way back than doing that?
You
So
don't have a choice.
Yeah, but at one point did you not have a choice anymore? At one point did you...
But you need to decide, do you want to be the artist? Or do you want to live in regrets?
What are you leaving behind?
What other people expect from you. Because when
Only other people? In your case,
I'm talking about family.
Okay, yeah.
At some points when, for example, my mom was like, yes, you're getting so much, people giving so much opportunities to finish school, to get papers, to maybe become a lawyer, to maybe become something else, because you have a brain for it. And you're like wasting that time in figuring shit out.
Okay, so the minute you hear that...
Like on the streets, wrong friends, etc., why you can have paperwork. So many people like presenting you opportunities, and you're still like, nah. Because for me, I was like, my mom used to work at a lawyer's office. I had the opportunity at some point that I could do something on that level, and I was like looking at the 76 years of education, and then 4 years in specialization. I was making them mad, like, yo, wait, I'm like 13, 14, 10 years later, and then there might be maybe a chance that I will have my own office. Nah, wasting life. I don't disagree with everyone who's chasing their dreams in that type of occupation, but that was not for me. And I was way too adventurous and trying to like living on the edge at one point. The things that I learned from the streets, the people that I met living in between those two worlds, because it's still people. What they're doing is not for me to judge, but they kind of guided me as well in reality. And both sides taught me so many things that I take advantage from now, that experience, that I can also like now relate with the youth that are doing things now on the streets. Because I understand where they come from. I understand what they're dealing with. I understand with the pressure and survival. And
what would you say to the youth in the street if you could talk to them?
The street doesn't respect you. Invest in yourself and make something from yourself. Because on this living street life, it's only two options: on the ground or behind bars. That's it. Be loyal to yourself. And be loyal to your passion. What gives you passion?
And how do you take the step from being on the street toward just a little bit in that direction? What's the first steps?
Change your environment.
How?
Don't deal with the people that you're dealing with.
Is it sort of like pull back, sit with yourself, or explore?
Yeah.
Being explore.
Confront yourself. Like, how much do you respect yourself? Because you only have one life. How do you want to live this life? Where do you see yourself in the future? Do you respect yourself? Do you love yourself enough to make that choice?
Are they actually aware that they have a choice?
No, because everybody's like glorifying what they're doing over there. Oh, you are this, you're this. Oh, you have this much money. Oh, that. Oh, you're looking like this.
So what would be the wake-up call?
The wake-up call is to do research, read books, educate yourself on what are the possibilities. Even if what you are doing, save money, don't buy expensive clothes or go to parties, tables, bottles, it's all bullshit. Use what you made from things and invest in your business. I
think it could be really cool to have...
Find the passion, what makes you happy. Find the skill that interests you. Go back to the beginning. Make a plan. What are your interests? What are your possibilities? And from that point on, execute. See what happens. Use your knowledge that you've learned from this into this. Because every situation is information.
When would be like a kind of like a it's not the right words, but
right.
I hope you get what I mean. When would be like the golden moment to actually tune in? So I'm trying to picture a situation that they're on the street, something happens, and they're like, "Fuck, is this all there is of? Do you know what I mean? Or a friend of them gets killed, or
yeah.
So in what moment could you flip the coin? You know, like when is the
the moment you can flip the coin is when you're facing a situation that you have no other choice than make the choice. That's
so it's kind of like a moment actually of feeling a calling.
It's definitely feeling a moment. It's definitely a moment when you get a realization. If you have a brain that works, like, okay, wait, this is already happening, and you see some type of red line in things that are coming your way, and then you need to make a choice. Okay, wait, or it could like infect me the next time, or I might be the next one. So I need to make a choice now, like what am I doing? All the material stuff, the whole image that you're like presenting for the different type of level, it's not real. Because you can't trust no one on that level. So if people ain't your friends, don't deal with them as friends. Step back. And it takes strength to step back. But the self-love and the self-reflection, that brings more strength. But that's the ego that you need to like kill first before you can see that light.